Everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. Want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July, this July 4th, 2024. Wasn't sure I was going to do the program today, but I said, you know what, I'm going to do it because there might be people that are off. Maybe they're not at the parties yet or whatever, go later on, but I'm late here. I seriously have to consider. It looks like, I was an hour late the last time, right? So maybe I need till 2 o'clock. You see, what happens is on a Thursday here, I gotta do stuff in the morning, and it takes me about an hour or two to get everything prepared for them, and then I'm behind, and then I'm running downstairs. So it becomes problematic, and I don't have that extra day. In the 78's, I have to look for them, I have to find them, and I had them all, had to clean a bunch of them, but I might have to move this show to 2 o'clock. I think that might be the better thing. It's unfair to have you waiting there for almost an hour here. That's not right. My mother was pissed. My sister came running up here. Mommy's mad at you. Why are you so late or whatever? But anyway, so I apologize for that, folks. So it's not going to happen again. I think I'm going to have to move it to 2 o'clock. That would be better. I just don't want you wasting time. You know, it's hard enough as it is here. Time is of the essence. But thank you for waiting for me. I appreciate that. And actually, it's a good thing that you're there. I appreciate that. So anyway, thank you all. We opened up with this cool instrumental. All 78's today, folks, as you know, out of Chicago. This is the Chance label. You know, the early Chance releases were on the black label, especially, I think on 45 too, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the shiny black with the silver print Chance label. Art Sheridan's Chance label. Maybe it wasn't his at the time. Might have been owned by somebody else, and then he actually came into it. But that's tenor saxophonist from Gary, Indiana. I think he had about 9 releases on the label, quite a few releases on the label. This was his 7th. His name, John Schoolboy Porter and his Schoolboys. And that one there from June 52 on Chance Records. It's called Breakthrough is the name of the tune. I'm telling you, I was really upset when I was going through a bunch of the 78 boxes. There were some really nice 78s that were cracked. I was so upset. I'm like, oh my God. It's hard enough to find these records as it is, but anyway, so I pulled some stuff out today. Hopefully you'll like it. You know, I'm going to have some early things in the beginning, but then we'll get into the 1950s. Got some cool group things coming up later on. I know many of you are more into the later sounds, but a lot of you like the early sounds here. But we're going to start her off with a cool up-tempo. Actually, it's a flip side, I think, from the last 78 show. I featured this group from Harlem, New York, played the B-side of their 6th release on Jerry Blaine's Josie record label. The song was called You Are. That is a excellent ballad. And the A-side is a killer up-tempo written by the group's manager, Esther Navarro. It's with Jesse Powell and the orchestra. I'm pretty sure that Alan Freed played this on his Wins program back in, was he there in 56? I think he was. I forget when he was kicked off of Wins. But it features Earl Carroll on lead. We go to March 1956. Let's open up with the Cadillacs on the Josie label. The song is called Zoom.
Well, Zoom, when the strings of my heart, yes, I know you'd start a little flame in my heart. Well, Zoom, when the strings of my heart, yes, I know you'd start a little flame in my heart. Do you remember the time we met? Your love was mine. Do you remember the night we met? Well, Zoom, when the strings of my heart, yes, I know you start a little flame in my heart.
Love you, baby. Oh, yes, I do. And do you get my deep well, oh, me, baby, and squeeze me tight. Never let me go.
Zoom, when the strings of my heart, yes, I know you start a little flame in my heart.
Yeah, there we go. We open up the vocal portion there with the Cadillacs sounding so good on a 78. I'm telling you, the sound just blasts out of the speakers there. That's Earl Carroll and the Cadillacs. That's their sixth release on the Josie record label from March 56. Zoom is the name of the tune. Oh, Joe, thank you. 2 p.m. is fine. Maybe that's what we'll do here. At least give me a little bit of time. You guys and gals can get ready there. I just don't want you waiting around. That is not good. I have to apologize for that. I'm truly sorry for that. But let's continue here. You know, we count down the music chronologically here on the 78 show, as well we do on Saturday night show. And let's go way back for this one. This is a request for listener Casey Hines in Paris. He likes these early sounds, as many of you do. And we're going way back to 1940 for this one. And it's the group's signature song, which has become an established standard covered by oh so many artists. Can you name all the groups and singers that have covered this? I don't know if I have them all, but I have quite a few. The Four Clefs, the Charioteers, the King Cole Trio, Lionel Hampton, the Orioles, Herb Kenny and the Rockets, Faye Wilson, the Redcaps, Lee Andrews, I think the Mills Brothers, the Miller Sisters, Fats Domino, Paul Anka, and I think Little Anthony and the Imperials. I must have missed a couple. I think there was Reed Harper. Wasn't there Reed Harper and the Three Notes or something like that on the Smart label? I think they covered this too. But it was originally done by this group in Chicago, and this group was inspired to record by the Mills Brothers. They first recorded for the Bluebird label back in 1939, but this was their 6th release for Bluebird. It features Austin Powell on lead. We'll send this one out to Casey Hines in Paris, May 1940. It's the Cats and the Fiddle on the Bluebird label, and their classic tune, it's called I Miss You So, for Casey.
Happy hours that once were ours, I miss them, yes I know. Most of all, I miss you so. Now that I'm lonely, I want you only to share my dreams once more. Please come back, I miss you so. I thought that you said we'd never part, my dear, and now I'm longing for you to be near. I'll always love you and I'll be true. Oh, honey, don't you know? Most of all, I miss you so. Most of all, I miss you so. Longing for you to be near. I'll always love you and I'll be true. Oh, honey, don't you know? Most of all, I miss you so, more than you know.
There you go. That one by request for Casey Hines in Paris, May 1940. The Cats and the Fiddle there on the Bluebird record label. That's Austin Powell on lead. Their classic tune, we call it that, I Miss You So is the name of the tune. Now, the song released multiple times on different labels. What's Montgomery Ward? The Montgomery Ward label? Okay. Also on Regis, I think. It came out a few times on the RCA record label with different flips. Manor Records and a division of Arco Records. A lot of releases for that record. It became popular later on. And I have it on a 45, of course. RCA put it out with a different flip, I forget, but Big Dave wants the flip of this. We'll get it on in a couple of weeks. We'll play the flip side of this 78. But let's continue here. We stay in 1940 for a rare instrumental. I normally do not feature instrumentals during my show. I play them in the beginning of the show, and I think I've played a couple at the end of the show. But it's not really, I just like this record when I listen to it. Thought it might have been a vocal. It wasn't. It's I like this one here, this song. It reminds me of another song, and I really can't place it. Maybe somebody in the chat room can think of the song that it took something from this record, but the label credits trumpeter Erskine Hawkins, who wrote the song, and they identify him on this Bluebird 78 as the 20th century Gabriel, I guess because of his great trumpet playing that he had. I don't know what kind of, he used to hit those really high notes. But this song features Avery Parrish on piano. This is from September 1940. This is a twin spin on the Bluebird record label, Erskine Hawkins, but it's a piano solo by Avery Parrish. The song is called After Hours. That's a twin spin on the Bluebird record label, September 1940 release. It credits the band leader there, well, I guess with the leader of the band, the trumpeter Erskine Hawkins, but that is a piano solo there by Avery Parrish. After Hours is the name of the tune. Johnny G's usually here after hours, but it's a day show. I'm an hour late. I apologize for that. But if those of you that are new to the program, please, that are watching Johnny G on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy these 78s. I do this show every couple weeks. When we go back to the 45s, eventually I will switch back to the every week. It's a lot easier for me to get the 45s and to spin them. That I should say. The 78's are tougher. I got to file a whole bunch of the 78's too because I'll never find them again. After I clean them, I should put them in the right place. I need some elves here to help me. Let us continue here. Let's move up 6 years now to 1946, still way before Johnny G was born, I have to tell you that. Maybe some of you also in the chat room too, but this is on Eddie Leo Mesner's Aladdin Records, although this singer first recorded on the Philo label in 1945, which I think was a subsidiary, or maybe that was before Aladdin Records. I don't know if Aladdin was around by 1945, but he's originally from Texas City, Texas. He settled in Los Angeles, California, recording with Johnny Moore's Three Blazers as the vocalist. And the Three Blazers are, I should say the Two Blazers on this one are heard. I think you can hear them faintly, even on some of his singles that came out in the mid 1950s for Aladdin. He's basically, though, a blues singer. His name is Charles Brown, and he's doing piano here. He's also on lead. It also features Johnny Moore on guitar and Eddie Williams on the bass. We go to March of 1946 for Charles Brown with Johnny Moore's Three Blazers on the Aladdin label. And this is actually, this word was around back in 1946. The song is called Groovy.
Hep cat gather round when fine jive hits the town. Crave a chick that's fine with the mellow line that's groovy.
Music masterfully just knocked me out today. I'm groovy as a band to 10 cents moving. Pump some rhythm there. If you don't need my jive, don't bother, just give me 5. I'm groovy as about to 10 cents moving. Pop some rhythm there.
When you see me coming down the street, all knocked out and really beat, remember I stay on the beam. I'm a hep cat jack, that's what I mean.
Now I'm cutting out. Remember what we talked about. I'm groovy as a band to 10 cents moving. Pop some rhythm there.
Down the street, all knocked out and really beat. Remember I stay on the beam. I'm a hep cat jack, that's what I mean.
Now I'm cutting down. Remember what we talked about. I'm groovy as a band to 10 cents moving. Pop some rhythm there. Pop some rhythm there.
Yeah, Charles Brown, not known for that we can call that an up tempo there. He's more with the really slow blues jazzy style there. But there you go, doing lead there with Johnny Moore's Three Blazers from March '46 on the Aladdin record label, which was previously known as the Philco record label. Really interesting that sounded too close to the name of that company that they would have to change their name. You know, a lot of things were like weird in the 1950s and 40s and 50s there. They didn't want certain things associated with, especially with an R&B label, really, I guess, but who knows? Let's continue here. We stay in 1946. We go to Irving Berman's Manor record label out of Newark, New Jersey for Deke Watson and the Brown Dots. This was their 8th release for the Manor label. And I'm going to have 3 in a row on the Manor record label. This one features Jimmy Nabby on lead. We go to August of 1946 for Deke Watson and the Brown Dots. It's called Please Give a Broken Heart a Break.
Please give a broken heart a break. I love you, do it for my sake. I heard you say you're going away. Won't you change your mind and say that you're gonna stay? Oh, please, please don't break up our romance. Let's give our love another chance. For if you don't, someday your own heart will ache. Give a broken heart a break. Please, please give a broken heart a break. I love you, do it for my sake. I heard you say that you were going away. Won't you change your mind and say that you're gonna stay? Oh, please, please don't break up our romance. Let's give our love another chance. For if you don't, someday your own heart will ache. Please give a broken heart a break. Please give a broken heart a break. I love you, do it for my sake. I heard you say you're going away. Won't you change your mind and say that you're gonna stay? Oh, please, please don't break up our romance. Let's give our love another chance. For if you don't, someday your own heart will ache. Give a broken heart a break. You won't regret it. Give a broken heart a break.
There you go, sounds of 1946 on the Vinyl Treasure Show, released in August 46. Deke Watson and the Brown Dots. It's on the Manor record label. Give a Broken Heart a Break. That's Jimmy Nabby on lead. If you like the tempo changes in that, that's what's pretty cool on that song. This is this is the first of the 3 Manor 78's I'll be playing. Big Dave mentioned the quality of the vinyl, recycled vinyl during the war, and causes that surface noise, unfortunately. recently. This one is a Stone Mint copy, too. These records, this one particularly, I got in the trade with Glenn Fazell. Like I said, I traded 3 Beatle LPs. The Beatles versus the Four Seasons without the picture without the poster that I paid 5 cents for. Tony Sheridan and the Beatles, probably those are expensive LPs on the MGM record label, and I think the Beatles' second album, which I like because I like that song on the LP called Tell Me Why, which I dare not play here on my 60s show. But I got some really cool 78s, and he told me, he said, you got the better deal on that. I just had a little bit of cash and some LPs, and you got these great 78s. Well, I don't know about that, but let us continue here. This is the second one in a row on the Manor record label as we move into 1947 for the Four Tunes. It's the group's first 4 releases as the Four Tunes were issued all in July of 1947, and this was their second release, which actually came out twice. Came out in July of 1947, and then the following year came out in October of 48. And then Columbia would even purchase the master and release it in November of 48. Why they did that, I don't know. But this is from July 47. These are the Four Tunes. I think Pat Best, he's the lead singer on this. The Four Tunes with, in parentheses, I Wonder Where Is My Love, the Four Tunes.
I look at the stars up above and wonder where is my love. No matter where she may be, I hope she's thinking of me. I long to hold her tight in the still of the night and whisper things in her ear. Oh, I love her so dear. She's got those eyes that will make you change your mind right or wrong. That's why I love her so strong. I look at the stars up above and wonder where is my love. Wherever she may be, I hope she's thinking of me. I look at the stars up above and wonder where is my love. No matter where she may be, I hope she's thinking of me. I'm longing to hold her so tight, here in the still of the night, and whisper things in her ear. Oh, how I love her so dear. She's got those eyes that will make you change your mind, right or wrong. That's why I love her so strong. I love her so strong. I look at the stars up above and wonder where is my love. Wherever she may be, I hope she's thinking of me. Thinking of me. No matter where she may be, I hope she's thinking of me. She's thinking of me.
There you go. Nice harmonies on that one there. That's an early side by the Four Tunes. July 1947. That's Pat Best on lead per I Wonder Where Is My Love. And that's on the Manor record label. That one played considerably better than the other Manor. Maybe it's like pot luck on a lot of these things, but you know, with the recycled vinyl, the 45s also play bad too. When you have recycled vinyl with the 45s, it's the same kind of thing. But it was unfortunate during the war time that the resin needed to make these 78s wasn't easily available, so they had to break up, returns. They would buy old 78s and they would crumble them up with other things, and it just wasn't the right mixture that would to make for a nice clear sound. The major labels did although those Bluebirds did play pretty well. Darren, you mentioned that they didn't. You have some Bluebirds that didn't sound that good, but those sounded pretty good, and they were from 1942. Oh, maybe that was that just before the war, maybe. So anyway, but let us continue here. Here's our third release on the Manor label, as we stay in 1947 with the Four Tunes, but this time they are backing up Savannah Churchill. This was the group's fifth release on Irving Berman's Manor record, September 47. For Savannah Churchill and the Four Tunes on the Manor label, it's called Is It Too Late?
Is it too late for us to start anew? I'm no good without you. Is it too late? I want to know why you treat me so. My heart refused to let you go. Is it too late? I'm lonesome for you. Darling, help me, please do. Tell me you still care. Let's mend our love affair. Being stubborn gets us nowhere. Say it's not too late. Can't you see I'm lonesome? Lonesome for you. Oh, my darling, help me.
September 1947 release there for Savannah Churchill and the Four Tunes on the Manor record label. Is It Too Late is the name of the tune. Johnny G was late today, but if you enjoy these 78 shows, please drop me a line at vinyltreasures@aol.com. I'll keep it going for as long as I can, and I know many people have sent me. I can't stop with the 78s as we go through the years here. You know, I play some early sides and then we get into the mid-1950s. I think I'm closing from late 57, although the press is from 58, I think, on the Ember label. But let us continue here. Let's move into 1948 now with a flipside request for Mark Langdale in Australia. He likes this show. He thinks it's the best show of the three that I do. And I featured the Dixieres on the last show on the Gotham record label. I actually played the B-side called The Long, Lean, and Lanky. That featured Caleb Ginyard on lead. But Mark wanted to hear the intended A-side. They were all singing on this, and I wasn't going to play this because it didn't sound good. I tried and tried to put the Dawn dishwashing liquid to this, but sometimes, you know, you can get so much out of the grooves you can't get anymore if there's nothing in there. And you know, they got those I don't know if you can use those, like those, I forget what they call it. It's some kind of some kind of charge, and you put the record in this water, and it's supposed to take all the stuff out of the grooves. I don't know if it can do it with 78s. Maybe they'll crack them, or if there's a crack or something. I don't know. But I was talking, I think it was Chris Forellis who was telling me about it. The machines are expensive, or you can clean, like, depending on how big the machine is, you can clean lots and lots of records at the same time. They save you some time. But he was talking about, you know, thousands of dollars for these big machines to clean the records. I think the guys like Craig Moyer and a lot of the people that have that sell large stocks of 45s, they do that, use that, because they can't sit there with their spin clean or with their what do you call that other thing that spins around? You put I never put that on there. I use the spin clean. It's a pain in the neck, I have to tell you that. But I clean these 78s with a special soap and a soft toothbrush, and I hold it over the sink there, and then I dry. You have to be really careful about it, and that you don't wet. Some of the labels are okay to wet, but not all of them. You got to be careful. But let's flip over this Dixieres 78 here for Mark Langdale, September 1948. The Dixieres on Ivan Ballin's Gotham Records out of Philadelphia. It's called Go Long.
Go long, 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 go long. When it's time to play and things get out of hand, so long there will come a day, baby, you'll understand. Go long, go long, go long, go long, go long, go long. I got to run, 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 born to run. I got to hurry and catch the train. I got to run, 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 keep on running. I got to hurry and sign my name. Well, I'm gonna shout, shout, shout on the done. I'm gonna join up with the band in the morning. Gonna shout, 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 just before I take the stand. Gonna drive that old man devil out. Gonna tell him what it's all about. Gonna run, man, sing and shout. Go long, go long, go long. Gonna join the night time in the day. Gonna take those blues and troubles away. Gonna tell them everything's okay. Go long, go long, go long, go long. When the skies are gray and things get out of hand, go long, there will come a day,
got to hurry and find a way. I'm gonna drive, sail out and tell him what it's all about. Gonna run, laugh, sing and shout, go long, go long, go long.
Yeah, see, that 78 is not sounding good. I don't know if it's I guess it's a little bit grainy there, but it could be more with the if they played it with a bad. I was watching a YouTube video. Okay, I think she subscribed to my YouTube channel. I check out all you guys and gals that subscribe to the YouTube, and it was actually pretty cool because she was in her early, she was like 20 years old. I think she said and I was like impressed that she had, Herald 78's and, the Griffins or whatever on Mercury. I was like shocked that this 20-year-old had these 78's. The only thing I was losing my mind over, she was playing it on a wind-up player, and she had, the ones with those nails as needles, and I was like, oh my God, she's killing that record. I mean, you can't play these shellac records on that player. You were gonna gouge out that the 7. I mean, they wear out with the constant plays anyway, but not with that big heavy tone arm. That listen, I got like 3 grams on that I play these 78's with, but she had that big heavy needle there with that, and it I just was beside myself, really. I mean, buy a 1960 record player somewhere, and with the 78 needle, and play them on that versus that big thing that you wind up. You don't want to do that. Maybe for your Caruso records, from the 20s or whatever, you might want to do that. But that was just killing a 1955 78. I just couldn't do it. I was like, oh, and they were nice, and she paid some good money for some of the records. I forget her name, but she did subscribe to my channel. But let's continue here, and we are in the year 1948. You weren't able to see that. That print isn't as good on this Decca record, but I know many of you are familiar with a song called Gloria. And I'm sure what first comes to mind, of course, is the Cadillacs version of Gloria. But actually, this song dates back, because the Cadillacs, Esther Navarro kind of changed the lyrics a little bit, but it was basically the same song. A tune written by Leon Rene, first recorded back in 1946. It was like a pop tune that, because Leon Rene owned the exclusive label, and Bob Hayward, I think he was the one that did the song first. It was a pure pop record, this song Gloria. I think next to record it was Johnny Moore's Three Blazers. They did it also on the exclusive label in April of 47. Then Charles Brown, we heard of him earlier. He also recorded it, but the song became really popular. I think he was with the Three Blazers when they did it, but the song became popular in 1948. There were a bunch of people that recorded it. Ronnie DeVille, he recorded it on the Signature label, prompting the Bob Hayward to be re-released again. And then it brings us to the one that I'm spinning, as done by the Mills Brothers. And I think this is the one that Esther Navarro heard, and then she would rewrite it for the Cadillacs. As this features Donald Mills on lead. I have this on a 45 too, but I had this is the original 78 from October 1948. These are the Mills Brothers on the Decca record label with their rendition of the tune Gloria.
Gloria, it's not Marie
glorious. It's not Sherry, it's Gloria. She's in your every dream. You try to play the game of kiss and run away, but now you find it's not that way. Somehow you changed, it seems. Wasn't Madeline your first love? It was just hello, goodbye. Wasn't Caroline your last love? It's a shame you made her cry. What a fool you are. You gave your heart to Gloria. You're not so smart, 'cause Gloria is not in love with you. Wasn't Madeline your first love? It was just hello, goodbye. Wasn't Caroline your last love? It's a shame you made her cry. What a fool you are. You gave your heart to Gloria. You're not so smart, 'cause Gloria is not in love with you. Gloria is not in love with you.
October 1948 release for the Mills Brothers. That is released on a 45. They released that over and over again on the Decca record label, but that one there, the original from October 48 on the 78. Some of the high notes on this, somebody probably paid that with a bad needle too, although that is like a grainy press also. That is Donald Mills on lead, the Mills Brothers, with their rendition of the tune Gloria. Esther Navarro altering the lyrics there for the Cadillacs and other groups that recorded off of the Cadillacs release. Johnny G here for this 4th of July special edition, we'll call it, of the 78 show. If you like what I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up. Also, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Click the bell to get notifications. This is the second show of the week. I'll be back Saturday night with the 1950s show. If you have a request, you can send it to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. No hits, because the copyright police will be out after me and they will shut me down. You cannot play hits. I saw somebody post up something, his show was shut down. Well, you cannot play big hits on YouTube, because they monitor with artificial intelligence all the songs that I play. And some of the owners of these songs, they don't want their stuff played. You need permission. And sometimes they want money. So I don't have money to give buying all these records, but let's continue here. We are in the year 1948. We got a twin spin on the Decca label. This time it's Ella Fitzgerald. She's being backed up by a group on this. They're called the Daydreamers. I think they did two with her, if I'm not mistaken, on the Decca record label. And this song from the Columbia picture, maybe Gordy, you saw the picture. It's called Let's Fall in Love. I haven't seen it, and I don't know who was in it, but maybe it's a good movie. A lot of those old flicks are excellent. They get 4-star ratings. But this is from 1948. Let's give a listen to Ella Fitzgerald and the Daydreamers on the Decca label. It's called I Want to Learn about love.
I do, I do, I do, I do. I want to learn about love from you. I do, I do, I do. I do. I want to learn what a kiss can do from you, from you, from you. Take me, teach me how a heart should feel. How should it feel? When to know it's real, I yearn to learn. What should I whisper when we're alone, 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 alone? How would I go about making you my own, my own, my own? All my own. What are the things I'm missing? I think it's time I knew. I want to learn about love, love, love from you, you, you. I want to learn about love from you. You do, you do, you do. Yes, I do.
You want to learn what a kiss can do.
I do from you. Take me, teach me how a heart should feel.
How should it feel?
When to know it's real, I yearn to learn. What should I whisper when we're alone, 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 alone?
By myself.
How would I go about making you my own, my own, my own?
All my own.
What are the things I'm missing? I think it's time I knew. I want to learn about love, love, love from you. From you.
No one but you.
Just you.
Sorry, folks, I got caught there. I've been doing multitasking here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. There you go. That is a nice record there. Actually plays a lot better than that Gloria did. That one there from 1948. That's Ella Fitzgerald and the Daydreamers on the Decca record label. I Want to Learn About Love. She had such a nice voice. She did. She sang with a multitude of vocal groups too. The Delta Rhythm Boys, the Mills Brothers, the Daydreams there on that one, and others. But let us continue here. We move into 1949 now with a flip side request of a 78 I played on the last 78 show a couple weeks ago. This is a request for listener Mark Langford in Australia. Featured the Four Chords. Came out on Morty Shad's Sittin' In With label, and I don't know anything about this group. I couldn't find any information. They do a nice rendition, though, of the song Again. But let's give a listen to the flip side here before I file it back down. In the No Humidity Basement, we go to April of 1949. They're called the Four Chords with an H, Chords, on the Sittin' In With label. It's called You Had the Blues from Mark Langford.
Do 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 do. You thought you had the blues,
Yeah.
the good old-fashioned blues.
Tell me more.
'Cause every time you tried to win, you always seemed.
But I didn't have the blues till my baby went away. But now I've got the blues, the blues that haunts me night and day. Well, I thought I had the blues when my gal didn't treat me right. Man, I thought I had the blues when my gal didn't treat me right.
No, you haven't got the blues.
ain't got no need complaining till she doesn't call at all.
I thought I had the blues when my baby put me down. Yeah, she put me down. Boy, but now I've got the blues. My heart is dragging on the ground.
You were beat up, broken, hungry.
Yeah.
Didn't have a cent.
Got plenty of money.
Always hiding from the landlord 'cause you couldn't pay your rent.
But I didn't have the blues till I lost that gal of mine.
Now you've really got the blues that haunt you all the time.
Well, I thought I had the blues when I had the blues before.
But you were alright when she would hold you tight.
I thought I had the blues when I had the blues before.
Now you know better, so why not get together?
Please come back, pretty baby, and I won't have the blues no more.
The blues, the blues, the blues.
That's a cool tune there. I didn't listen to that side. Thank you for requesting that there, Mark, in Australia. That is the four chords. The four chords are only released from April 49 on the Sittin' In With label. That is a Morty Shad's label out of New York City. You Had the Blues is the name of the tune. There's a gal in that group, too. I wonder who that is. Anyway, Johnny G here for a Thursday afternoon on this 4th of July. Wishing everyone out there a 4th of July. Isn't a big day? Isn't the 4th of July a big day over in the UK? Mark Infant in the UK. It's a big, and they're big with the soccer too. I think that's going on there too, which is a big thing. But let us continue here. Let's move into 1950 now with this singer, pianist, composer, and band leader, originally from Seminole, Oklahoma, but he relocated to San Diego, California, then eventually moving to Los Angeles in 1939. First recording for Leon Renee's exclusive label back in 1945, but he would sign with Art Roup's specialty label in early 1950. I think this was his fourth release on the label, if I'm not mistaken. It's a song he wrote. It's actually, a part 1 and part 2. August 1950. Let's give a listen to Joe Liggins and his Honey Drippers. This is on the specialty label. It's called Rhythm in the Barnyard, part 1.
Rhythm in the barnyard, hip hooray. Rhythm in the barnyard for today. Rhythm in the barnyard, clear your crawl. Rhythm in the barnyard, scratch your paw. Cats are groovy, chicks are gay. Old mule is bluesy, and the cows won't eat no hay. Rhythm in the barnyard, lots of fun. Rhythm in the barnyard has begun. Cats got rhythm, chicks got rhythm, cows got rhythm. Sister Dominic is dressed so fine. Brother Rooster Peck is on some time. Little Henny Penny is on her way. Old Mother Goose been here all day. Mr. Hawk slaps that fiddle. Old Mule brays the blues. Brother Rabbit whips those ivories like he's got no time to lose. Come, Mr. Rooster, while the music's hot, we're gonna dance that turkey trot. Goose got rhythm, mule's got rhythm, hen's got rhythm. From the bulldog who just walked in, and I have a feeling that the fun will end. Came to the barnyard dance last night. All he ever did was fuss and fight. Say, you fellas, I'm not here to fight. I like good rhythm, and I guess I'll dance and prance all night.
Rhythm in the barnyard, that's for me. Rhythm in the barnyard, 1, 2, 3. Dog's got rhythm, pig's got rhythm, horse got rhythm.
There you go. That's Joe Liggins and the Honey Drippers. They got tons of releases, I got to tell you that. That one there from August 1950, Art Roop specialty record label. Rhythm in the Barnyard Part 1. Somebody requested that years and years ago, and I couldn't find the 78, but then I found it in my mess of 78s. As we continue here on the All 78 show, we are in the year 1950. Now, on last week's, or I should say a couple weeks ago, played the debut single for Esther Mae Jones, a.k.a. Little Esther. It was on the Bahari Brothers modern record label called I Got a Gal, which was a mistake. It was supposed to be I Got a Guy. And it was Johnny Otis had discovered her, and she became his female vocalist. But after that release, Johnny Otis signed with Herman Lubinsky's Savoy Records out of Newark, New Jersey, and it was Lubinsky that gave her the name Little Esther. And this was the first release on Savoy she had with the Robins, who came along with Johnny Otis, and it features the bass of the group, Bobby Nunn, singing with her on this one. This was a big seller for Savoy Records back in 1950. January 1950, Little Esther and the Robins on Savoy Records. It's called Double Crossin' Blues.
Been looking for you, Daddy. I've just found you in time. You with some other woman, and you swore that you were mine. What's the matter, Daddy? Don't my kisses satisfy? If I don't thrill you, baby, goodness knows how hard I've tried. Folks say that you've been cheating, and how I see it's true. But I can't quit you, baby, 'cause I'm so in love with you. What's the matter, Daddy? If you would only tell me why. If I don't thrill you, baby, goodness knows how hard I've tried.
You stayed out last night, say you were playing cards. Can't understand it, baby, what make your big fat head so hard. I'm gonna leave you, and there's no need for you to cry. Well, if I can't satisfy you, baby, well, goodness knows how I try.
You should be out in the forest fighting a big old grizzly bear.
How come you ain't out in the forest?
I'm a lady.
They got lady bears out there.
Oh, baby, I can't use you anymore.
Well, if you can't use me, mama, don't let nobody come out that back door. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Daddy.
Bye-bye.
Yes, what's a lady bear? Anyway, I had to backtrack there. I had to apologize, Charlene. So, Johnny G, you mentioned, I said Mark I said his name wrong. It's Mark Langdale. I apologize, Mark. Mark Langdale in Australia. I just want to try to rush to do these things here, and I type it up. I kind of mess it up there. So, Mark, I apologize there. But there you go. That's a great Robbins with Little Esther. That's Bobby Nunn with her singing Little Esther from January 1950 on Savoy Records. Double Crossin' Blues is the name of the tune. As you all know, here as we move into 1951, this next group from Newport News, Virginia, first recording for Eddie and Leo Mesner's Aladdin record label. Here's their third release for the Aladdin label, recorded at their third session held on August 6th of 1951. This first issued in December of 51 with a Christmas flip side called It's Christmas Time, which is an excellent Christmas tune, and the song adapted, but the flip side adapted from a children's nursery rhyme about a farmer, and you'll hear it. It features Marilyn Pierce on lead. We go to December of 1951 for the Five Keys on the Aladdin record label, and their tune is called Old MacDonald.
Old MacDonald, old MacDonald, old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Yes, old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Yes, he had a chick here, a chick there, he had fine chicks every doggone while. Oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, E-I-E-I-O. Well, old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Yes, and on that farm he had some ducks, E-I-E-I-O. Yes, he had a fat duck here, a fat duck there, he had fat ducks every doggone while. Oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, E-I-E-I-O. Well, in the morning about the break of day, the chicks and the ducks would stay away. He said, don't you mind my wife at all, 'cause I look up in the house just having a ball. My wife don't mind no me at all. She's always jumping and having a ball. She hit me on the head with a rolling pin, say I dare ya to try it again. Well, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, E-I-E-I-O. There, a chick here, chick everywhere. Oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, E-I-E-I-O. Oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald, oh MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
That's December 1951 release there for the Five Keys. Marilyn Pierce and the Five Keys on the Aladdin record label. Old MacDonald is the name of the tune. Aladdin would re-release that song a month later, replace it that Christmas song, It's Christmas Time, with Yes Sir, That's My Baby. I still need that 45 or 78, we'll call it, but I have this on a 45. Of course, Spence sold it to me, but it's a three-figure record on a 45. The 78, I tell you, got it in the trade with those Beatle LPs. He sold me all the Five Keys 78s, and on the Aladdin record label. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Thursday on this 4th of July celebration here. As we continue here, let's move into let's move into 1952 with the sound of the Ravens. They signed with Mercury Records in October of 1951 after leaving Columbia and OK, but not all of them went. At this time, the group consisted of Jimmy Ricks and 3 new members. Jimmy Stewart, he was the second tenor, Louis Frazier baritone, and top tenor Joe Van Loan. Gone from the group were Leonard Pusey, he would later return. Also Warren Suttles left, but he would also later return, and also Maith Marshall, who would later return. And then there was one more member that did not return. His name is Lewis Hayward. I think he would eventually join what's that? Charlie Fook was in spots, if I remember that correctly, later on. But anyway, here's the group's 6th release for the Mercury label, and the first one on the 70,000 series. They were 4 numbers, I think, the 5,000 series and the 8,000 series, then the 70,000 series. It features the great Joe Van Loan on lead. We go to December 1952, the Ravens on Mercury. It's called Don't Mention My Name, the Ravens.
Don't mention my name.
Don't speak of the past. We gave romance every chance. Still it didn't last.
She wasn't to blame.
Still it was she who knew. But don't mention my name unless she mentions it to you.
December 1952 release there for the Ravens, the great voice of Joe Van Loan on lead. Don't Mention My Name is the name of the tune. It's on the Mercury record label. I think the last person to request that was maybe last March. I played it for Gordy Freeman. I think he requested that back in March of this year, but always a great tune to hear the Ravens with Joe Van Loan. Johnny G here on a Thursday as we continue here. Been featuring this gal from Newark, New Jersey often on the All 78 show. She had a congenital bone problem in her right leg that required multiple operations as a child, and those did not work, and unfortunately she was crippled for the remainder of her life. But on the last 78 show and the previous, I featured her debut single on Herman Leminski's Savoy Records. It was Please Come Back to Me, back with Love and Wine. That was from October 51. Let's give a listen to her 7th of 15 on the label. I think I mentioned she had 12 the last time. No, she's got 15 on the label. I misspoke. And this is from November 52. Let's give a listen to Miss Veretta Dillard. Veretta Dillard on the Savoy record label. It's called I Cried and Cried.
I cried and I cried. Oh yes, I cried the day you told me goodbye. Well, I cried and cried, but the more I cried, all the more I thought that I would die. So I walked and I walked, oh how I walked to find you somewhere in town. But the more I walked, oh the more I cried, while the raindrops kept on falling down. I told myself this love affair would never mean a thing. But as time goes by, know that I will never love again. Well, I tried and I tried, oh how I tried to get you out of my mind. But the more I try, oh the more I find I love you until the end of time. Tried and I tried, oh how I tried to get you out of my mind. But the more I try, oh the more I find I love you until the end of time.
That's the sound of Veretta Dillard. Veretta Dillard there from November 1952 on the Savoy record banner. I Cried and Cried is the name of the tune. And what else? This one comes out on a 45, as does the release before this, Easy Easy Baby, but the others before that only on a 78. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasures show, and you all know this next group out of Baltimore, Maryland, first recording on the It's a Natural label, but then moving over to Jerry Blaine's Jubilee record label, which also issued their debut single called It's Too Soon to Know, a big R&B hit for the group. But their biggest song, I guess to hit the pop charts too, was their cover of the Darryl Glenn tune called Crying in the Chapel. But let's give a listen to the B-side of that 45. I think it might be their, 39th release on the Jubilee record label. Features the great Sonny Till on lead. We go to July of 1953 now for the Orioles. The Orioles on Jubilee, the flip side of Crying in the Chapel. It's called Don't You Think I Ought to Know. The Orioles.
What they're saying isn't so, that our love is burning low. If you found somebody new, don't you think I ought to know? Dining at the club alone, I can feel the people stare. Do you think I made of stone? You think I made of stone? Don't you think I ought to know? You know, darling, I've always had such faith in you and the things we have done. But like a fool, yes, I lived and learned that half a love is worse than none. If I can't have all of you, then I can't believe it's true. If it really means we're through, it really means we're through. Don't you think I ought to know? You know, darling, I've always had the faith in you, well, the things you plan. But like a fool, I live and learn that half a love is worse than none. If I can have all of you, then I can't believe it's so. If it really means we're through, it really means we're through. Don't you think I ought to know?
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. There you go, Sonny Till and the Orioles with Don't You Think I Ought to Know, July 53 release on the Jubilee record label. That is the B-side to Crying in the Chapel. That is a great tune. I like that record quite a bit, as I do like this next one from 1953. We are in that block now. This gal, R&B singer by the name of Vicki Nelson, first recording for Brunswick Records, and no one seems to know much about her. She had 2 releases on the Brunswick record label. This is her second. It's a song she wrote. I have this on a Flexi promo copy on the Brunswick label. We go to September of 1953. Give a listen to Vicki Nelson on Brunswick. It's called I Belong to You. Vicki Nelson.
Your heaven sent to me. I hope you'll always be my one sweet life. arms that will cling to you. I want to show I belong to you. I'll never, no, never leave you, my darling. Ah, that's something you never have to fear. Though misunderstanding may unfold us, I'll always be there. I love you so. I'll hug and kiss you all from the depths of my poor soul. Heaven will know. One more chance from you, I will belong, yes, to you. I'll never, no, no, never leave you, my darling. That's something you never have to fear. Though misunderstanding may unfold us, I'll always be there. I love you so. I'll hug and kiss you well from the depths of my poor soul. Heaven will know. Oh, one more chance from you, I will belong to you.
That's the second of two on the Brunswick record label for Vicki Nelson. From September 53, Vicki Nelson with I Belong to You. Now, it wasn't until, late 1955 for her next release, came out on the Premium record label. I think she is backed up by the Wheels on that release. And then she has another in 1957 on Vic Records as Vicki with a V-I-K-K-I. Vicki Nelson, I think with the sounds backing her up on that. But she is Vicki with a C on the Brunswick label, V-I-C-K-I-E. I am Johnny G with a G here, your Thursday afternoon disc jockey spinning original vinyl, or I should say shellac, 78's. Somebody had mentioned that. Not vinyl, it's shellac. Yes, but that is truly a vinyl press, though, I have to say, so I'm not lying. As we continue here, as we move into 1954, I've talked about this group before, the Q's, and how they've backed up various artists like Ruth Brown, Laverne Baker, Ivory Joe Hunter, Joe Turner, and others. And for each of those artists, they use different names. The Rhythm Makers, the Gliders, the Ivory Tones, the Blues Kings, and etc. But the Q's first record was backing up Charlie White. Although Charlie did not get credit on the label, they called the group the Playboys. And this is their first of two. They recorded for the Cat record label. It's a subsidiary of Atlantic Records. This is from, August 54. The Playboys on Cat. And it features, Charlie White? What did I do here? Charlie White on lead. Yeah, the Playboys with Rock, Moan, and Cry. The Playboys.
I wanna rock, I wanna moan, I wanna cry. Yes, I rock, I moan, and I wanna cry. Whenever I'm feeling lonely and there's no place to go, start the morning, and let the chairs come tumbling down. Everybody rock.
I wanna rock,
moan,
I wanna moan
and cry.
rock, moan and cry.
First I rock, and then I moan, then I cry.
Moan and cry.
Whenever I'm tired of crying and feel close to dying, I start to rock, and then I moan and cry. Oh, rock away your troubles when you're feeling blue. Start a rockin', start a moaning, cause that's the thing to do. Everybody rock, moan and cry. I wanna rock, 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 moan and cry. When everything seems useless and you don't know what to do, I tell you to rock, and then you moan and cry. Let everybody hear you. 4 mountains and miles around. Start a rockin', start a moaning, and let the chairs come tumbling down. Everybody rock. I wanna rock, moan, and cry. Moan and cry. I wanna rock, 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 moan and cry. When everything seems useless and you don't know what to do, I tell you to rock, then moan and cry.
August 1954 release there for the Playboys. That's Charlie White on lead. The Playboys on the Cat record label. Rock, Moan, and Cry is the name of the tune. Those really the cues backing them up. They also backed up Carmen Taylor as the Boleros. Now, singer Charlie White previously sang with the Dominoes, and then he went on to the Checkers, and then he also went on to record with the Clovers. And speaking of the Dominoes, we got them up next. I've been featuring the Dominoes on the 78's show recently, and on the last show I played the B-side to their big R&B hit called 60 Minute Man. It was called I Can't Escape From You. That featured Clyde McPhatter on lead, and the other great lead of the Dominoes, well, beside the bass man, Brown, the bass man, was Jackie Wilson, and he basically replaced Clyde McPhatter when he left to join the Drifters. Now, the first record, or the first song that Jackie sang lead on, was a song called Christmas in Heaven that came out in November of '53 on the King label. This is the very next record that Jackie Wilson sang lead on. Came out in December of '53, but on the Federal record label, a song called Until the Real Thing, well, I should say that was his second one, Until the Real Thing Comes Along. So this is basically the third release for Jackie Wilson doing lead from April '54. Billy Ward and the Dominoes on Sid Nathan's Federal record label, Jackie Wilson on lead. It's called I'm Gonna Move to the Outskirts of Town. The Dominoes.
Oh, I'm gonna move way out to the outskirts of town. Oh, I'm gonna move way baby. He's gonna move away from here. Now he don't want no ice, man.
I'm gonna get me a bridge down. That's why I'm gonna move way out to the outskirts of town. Well, I don't want nobody always hanging around.
Hanging around. It may seem funny, honey, as funny as it can be. If that boy has any children,
I want them all to look like me. That's why I'm gonna move way out to the outskirts of town. Well, I don't want nobody
That's the great Jackie Wilson on lead there with the Dominoes. Billy Ward there, you heard him doing that little talk there in the background there. April 1954 on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. I'm Gonna Move to the Outskirts of Town is the name of the tune. Well, not yet. Johnny G ain't moving yet here. But let us continue here on the Vinyl Treasures show as we are in the year 1954. Let's go to the Washington Heights section of New York City for this next group. They had 3 releases on Bobby and Danny Robinson's Red Robin record label. The group included Joe Brisbane, Burl Easton, Donald Razor, George Thorpe, and the lead singer on this, Charles Sampson. He also co-wrote the tune. Excuse me, this is from May of 1954. Let's give a listen to the Velvets. The Velvets on the Red Robin record label. The song is called I Cried. The Velvets.
I cried, it did no good. I cried, 'cause you never understood. I cried for you. I cried, but you wasn't true to me. I lied, and you didn't hear my plea. I sighed, just to keep my love for you, for you. I cried, I lied, you made me feel so blue. I cried, I lied to prove that I love you. I cried, 'cause you left me just the same. I can still hear your name. I cried for you. I cried, I
of bad. I cry. Johnny, please come back to me. Wherever you may be, I lie just to keep my love for you.
That's the sound of the Velvets here on the Vinyl Treasure Show from May 54. Song entitled I Cried on the Red Robin record label. And they had a big New York hit. Their second release for Red Robin was a song called I, which was re-released, I think, in April 56 for the Pilgrim label. And they also released this tune, I Cried, in May of 1956. I don't know what Cecil Steen was doing with Bobby Robinson, but I guess it's a part of the marketing aspect that these record companies did. But anyway, I digress. Let's stay in 1954. Let's go to Chicago now for the debut single for this group. It's on Art Sheridan's Chance record label. Now, the group's mentor, his name was Levy McKay, guided them in their early part of their career and actually wrote the flip side of this, I guess we'll call it 78, that normally gets played, a song called I May Be Small. But the original members of this group at this time were Darnell Austell, John Austell, Harold Jones, Howard Pittman, Reggie Smith, and Eddie Stilwell. Collectively, they were known as the Five Chances, and this was actually, they were not five, they were six. So with this release, they were six, not five. So why they named themselves five, I don't know. But let's go to July 54, the Five Chances on Chance, with their tune called Nagasaki, the Five Chances.
Ginger baby, dynamite, everything's gonna be alright. I'm back in Nagasaki where the fellas so wacky but the women. Oh, kiss you baby, hold you tight, and that makes everything alright. I'm back in Nagasaki where the fellas shoot it back about the women. Oh, yeah, got my baby in love too. Tell you what I'm gonna do, gonna rock that chick for that slick. I'm in the groove, the way baby things pain, hurricane. I'm back in Nagasaki where the fellas shoot it back about the women. Oh,
July 1954, the debut single for the Five Chances. That's a swinging side called Nagasaki on the Chance record label, Art Sheridan's Chance record label. And I think it was the lead singer Darnell Austell. He's the lead. At least I may be small on the flip side. And yes, Gordy, that is a hard record to find on a 45. I was lucky to get a copy of that. I think mine is slightly polished, but I didn't. The guy wanted 78's, and he was selling his 45s. It was up way back when on eBay, so I ended up getting a copy. It might have been maybe just under 4 figures for the copy that I ended up purchasing. But that is the 5 chances, and but they were really 6 on that release. They would later add Johnny Chubby Jones, and he does lead on, I think, their best record, great two-sided 45 on the Federal label, My Days Are Blue, back with Tell Me Why. Let us do one more in the year 1954. We go back to Harlem, New York for this next group. First recording for the Central label. Had a female lead singer at the time when they first started, Vicki Burgess, but she would leave the group. She would later become the lead singer of the Joytones that recorded for the Rama record label, but the group would sign with Timely Records, had 2 releases on the Timely label. This was their first, and I have this, I showed you, this is on a Flexi Vinyl 78, and that's the best way to get this record. It features Eugene Sonny Cook on lead. Let's go to October of 1954. The Charmers on Timely. It's called I Was Wrong.
If you will listen, then you will know. If I could tell you I love you so,
I was wrong.
October 1954 release there for the Charmers. That's their first release on the Timely label. Eugene Sonny Cook on lead. I Was Wrong is the name of that one. On the 78, you hear things that you don't hear on the 45. And if you have the 45, you got to play it with a 78 needle, unfortunately. But there you go. And I bought that I won that in a John Tefteller auction many, many, many years ago. As we continue here on the special July 4th edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show, it's the All 78 show. As we move into 1955, I mentioned earlier about Clyde McPhatter. Excuse me. he would leave the Dominoes to join the Drifters, and here is the B-side to their 8th release on the Atlantic record label. Both sides of this release were first recorded August 9th of 1953. At the time, the group included Clyde McPhatter, lead singer, Bill Pinkney, he was top tenor, Andrew Bubba Thrasher, second tenor, Gerhardt Thrasher, baritone, and Willie Furby was the bass. Now, the sides that they recorded on that day were What You Gonna Do and a song called Gone. That was the A and B side of this. But Atlantic had them re-record What You Gonna Do, I think 3 times eventually. And the one that they originally put out as a single was the one from February 24th, 1954. But they flipped it with the song they recorded that August of 1953, and it features the great Clyde McPhatter on lead. We go to February 55, although this was recorded 2 years earlier. The Drifters on Atlantic. The song is called Gone.
And gone is the happiness we once knew. And gone is the thrill of your sweet and tender embrace. And gone is the spark that I can't replace. Now loving you made me happy. My world was so complete. But darling, I just didn't know this would happen to me. Now gone is the joy of having and holding you too. And gone is the hope, but not my memory of you. Gone is the thrill. Gone is the spark. And gone is the hope, but not my memory of you.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Drifters, Clyde McPhatter and the Drifters. That's the B-side to What You Gonna Do from February 55, although recorded in February of 1953. Gone is the name of the tune. That one there on the Atlantic record label. Let's stay in 1955 as we go to Knoxville, Tennessee. For this group, they had 3 releases on Herman Lubinsky's Savoy record label. This is their second, written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Clifford Curry. I'm sure some of you know Clifford Curry. He went on to have a successful solo career, recording a number of soul 45s in the mid 1950's, but here he is doing lead with a group called the Five Pennies. Let's go to December 55 on Herman Lubinsky's Savoy Records out of Newark, New Jersey. The Five Pennies, and their tune is called Mr. Moon.
Mr. Moon, way up in the sky, Mr. Moon, please don't pass me by.
Mr. Moon, shining way up above, shine your light and send me my love. Make her know I miss her so. I miss her so. Mr. Moon, when you shine your light, send my darling to me tonight. Make her know I love her so. Mr. Moon, don't you remember when you shine that night? She was in my arms and I held her so tight. She told me she loved me and I can't forget. But now she's gone and I'm loving her yet. Mr. Moon, shining way up above, shine your light and send me my love. Send her soon, Mr. Moon.
That's 1955, actually December 55 release for the Five Pennies. The Five Pennies on Savoy with Mr. Moon. That's Clifford Curry before all those soul releases there on lead with Mr. Moon. Now this group would later record as the Chimes on the Arrow record label. They have their own release, also backed up Freddie Scott on Arrow Records. Also recorded as the Four Jokers on Sue Records. That's a great tune. And also as the Four Pennies on the Brunswick label, I think in 1965 or so. Johnny G here on a Thursday. If you're new to the program, just finding out about this show, it's my second show of the week. Please tell your friends about it. Also consider to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I only play original 45s and 78's, maybe some LPs too in the future. You never know. I got about 2,000 or 3,000 LPs around here in the No Humidity basement. But I'll be back on Saturday evening at 9 p.m. here on YouTube and also live on Oldies and More Radio with your requests. So if you have a request, a non-hit request, send it to me at vinyltreasures@AOL.com. I don't want the copyright police coming after me with big number one hits from the 1950s. Last time I was doing the show, they said that I played a Bing Crosby record to close my show. I'll Be Seeing You. I did not play Bing Crosby. I don't play Bing Crosby on my show. I played the Shields' You Cheated, which I have played before. So they got to fix their artificial intelligence. They got to update it. And maybe they did. I should test the waters again and see what it does, but not on this show. I should come on and play that 78 again. But that's what they do. fix your artificial intelligence there as we continue here. And we are in the year 1955. Let's go out to Los Angeles, California with this girl group. They're called the Gay Notes. This is on the Imperial subsidiary Post record label. Now, the group would later record as the Honeybees on the Imperial record label. You may know a song they do called Endless. Okay, that would be covered by the McGuire sisters. That was the 45 that my aunt had in her collection. But let's give a listen to their first release, as they were known as the Gay Notes. This is from September 55 on Post Records. It's called Hear My Plea, the Gay Notes.
Is my plea, darling, come back to me, honest and truly. I must have you. All of my life, hey, I have. I'm at your command. I will understand anything you do. Do what you wanna do. Say what you wanna say. Darling, I'll still confess. My heart is guilty of loving you. You are my happiness. Here is my plea, darling, come back to me, honest and truly. I must have you. I must have you. I must have you.
September 1955 release there for the Gay Notes, later on recording as the Honeybees. This is on the Post record label, subsidiary of Imperial Records. Hear My Plea is the name of that tune. As we continue here, we are in the year 1955. Now, my Aunt Mary, who introduced me to all this music, she was a class of 1961, so she grew up at the start of the rhythm and blues and rock and roll craze, and she used to tune into all the disc jockeys, especially Alan Freed, because my aunt had this 45 in her collection. It's the debut single, came out on the Columbia label for this group. They had 16 releases through 1960. This quartet, based in Tennessee, but they were spotted on the Arthur Godfrey talent show by Columbia A&R man Mitch Miller, of all people, who signed them to the label. Now, Mitch Miller hated R&B music. He did. He hated it. But somehow he was able to get WINS disc jockey Alan Freed to play this record, and it eventually went to #1 on his WINS survey. This was also a big record in Pittsburgh on WJAS and WCAE and KQV. And my aunt was listening to Alan Freed back then, and she ended up purchasing this 45 also. But I have it on a 78. It's from June 1955. They're called The Four Voices. It features Alan Chase on lead. The name of the tune is Honest Darling, parentheses, Believe Me. The Four Voices, with great harmony.
Honest darling, believe me, you're the only one. That's why
I rush to meet you when the day is done. Honest, darling, believe me, you're so heavenly. I'd just be lost without you, like a ship at sea. When you're close to me and kiss me tenderly, you can't realize what it does to me. Honest, darling, believe me, cross my heart, it's true. I know that I will always be in love with you. When you're close to me and kiss me tenderly, you can't realize what it does to me. Honest, darling, believe me, cross my heart, it's true. I know that I will always be in love with you.
As June 1955 release there, that's their best record by far. The four voices there, Alan Chase on lead. Record made a hit here in New York by Alan Freed. Honest Darling, parentheses, Believe Me. It's on the Columbia record label. We stay in 1955. Let's go back to Harlem, New York for this next group. They signed with Bess Berman's Apollo Records in the summer of 1955. They had 6 releases on the label. Let's give a listen to their second, another song probably played by disc jockey Alan Freed. I Would Bet It. It features Floyd Adams on lead from December 55. They're called the Keynotes. The Keynotes on Apollo, it's called I Don't Know.
I do. Oh, my darling, why won't you be true?
I don't know why I love you like I do. Well, maybe it's because that you love me true. Still, I don't know. No.
Love you like I do.
Oh, come back, my darling. Please come back to me. Well, tell me, pretty baby, that you will be true. Still, I don't know. No.
Love you like I do.
Oh, maybe someday, my dear, you will understand. Well, tell me then, my darling dear, I can be your man. Still, I don't know. No.
Love you like I do.
Oh. love you like I do. Well, maybe it's because that you love me true. Still, no.
Love you like I do.
That's a swinging tune there by the Keynotes there, December 1955. That's their second release on the Apollo record label. I Don't Know is the name of the tune. They probably should have put Y on there. It'd be easy to remember the title. But that's Floyd Adams on lead. Floyd would leave the group after their third release. I think after their third release on the Apollo label, he would be replaced by Sam Kearney. And he does lead on some really great records on the Apollo record label. I think I have them on 78, but they're trash. I don't want to play I am going to play one trash record on the show, but it's just so rare on a 78, I figured I'd have to play it. But anyway, we continue here. And on the last 78 show, I played a request for listener Edmund Williams. He requested the Jacks out of Los Angeles, California on the Bahari Brothers RPM record label, their first of 6. It was a cover of the Feathers tune, Why Don't You Write Me? That featured Willie Davis on lead. Now, it was a big seller for the group. First released in April of 55 with the original flip side being smack dab in the middle. Now, the record was a constant seller, and in August of 55, they would re-release it with a different flip side, which the Bahari Brothers owned the rights to, and I guess that was better. They figured they'd make more money on it because the record was still selling. And this was the song they replaced it with. And it features an unmistakable voice. I normally say, there's certain singers that have voices that you can always hear. Well, this singer does. His name is Ted Taylor. This is from August 55. This is the alternate flip side to Why Don't You Write Me by the Jacks on RPM Records. It's called My Darling, the Jacks.
My darling, I love you deep down in my heart. I'll never had a feeling that we would ever pause. I love you forever. Be kind. It's always my desire, dear, to be by your side. My sweetheart, I don't know what I'll do. My darling,
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That is an alternate B-side. The second B-side to Why Don't You Write Me? The first one was called Smack Dab in the Middle. This was the second, My Darling. Those are the Jacks. Ted Taylor with that unmistakable voice. Of course, he had a bunch of solo releases on many different labels into the 1960s soul records, too. That one there from August 55 on RPM, My Darling is the name of the tune. Coming in on the ending stretch here on the All 78 edition for this July 4th here as we celebrate the 4th of July. And are any of you familiar with those budget 45s that came out on both 45 and 78's? They were, I guess, on the Tops label. There were many different labels that put them out, but they did all covers of the current hits of the day. Some are quite good, others are pretty mediocre, to say the least. But this, I think, is a decent cover of a tune, and not as good as the original, of course. But this singer did get noticed. He was born in Liberal, Kansas, then relocated to Richmond, California. His real name was Ben Joe Zeppa. But here he is with a group called the Four Jacks. They were the in-studio group that backed up many of the artists that recorded for this Tops budget label. And here they are doing a cover of the Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers hit that I think this comes on Red Label too, if I'm not mistaken. But this is from March of '56. It's Ben Zeppa with the Four Jacks on the Tops record label. It's actually an EP, and this is the first song on side one. Their rendition of the tune, Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
Hey do ma pa do ma pa do ma pa do do.
Ooh wah, ooh wah, ooh wah, ooh wah, ooh wah, ooh wah. Why do fools fall in love? Why do birds sing so gay? And lovers await the break of day. Why do they fall in love? Up above, why do fools fall in love? Why do they fall in love? Love is a losing game, and love can't be ashamed. I know of a fool you see, or that fool is me. Tell me why. Tell me
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's March 1956. That's Ben Zeppa with the Four Jacks on the Tops record label. They were doing the Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers tune, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? That is not Jimmy Wright and the orchestra. That is Lee Raymond and the orchestra there. And, of course, this release got the attention, got the ear of Art Roop. He was the owner of Specialty Records, who wanted to audition that singer there, Benjo Zeppa, and had him record a song written by Richard Berry. It was called A Foolish Fool, which was released in May of 1956. It was just a couple months later, after the release of this EP. He would have other releases on the Era, Award, and Hush record label. I think there's a couple other record labels too, but there you go. Cover tune there by Ben Zeppa and the Four Jacks. We are in the year 1956. Now, last Saturday, on my last Saturday show, I played a request for listener Frank Chingaro. He requested Day, Dawn, and Dusk on the Josie record label. And I played my 45, which was, I guess, at best, a VG plus condition. But I mentioned in the chat, I mentioned that I had a 78 of it that was pretty clean, and it was in the box here, so I figured I'd feature it for Frank today. And they are, this Day, Dawn, and Dusk, they are Bob Carver, he is Day, Eddie Coleman is Dawn, and Gus Simmons is Dusk. They first recorded for the Destiny label back in 1953. They had other releases on Herald and also on the Apollo label. This one is on the Josie label from April 56. Day, Dawn, and Dusk on the Josie 78. It's called Any Time. We'll send it out to Frank.
Your baby's left you, but don't feel blue. Don't cry no river, she wasn't true. Any time, any place, anywhere. Said she'd be true, but now she's kissing somebody new. Any time, any place, anywhere. Thought she was playing it square. Dry those teardrops. Don't look so sad. Some brand new baby will make you glad. Any time, any place, anywhere. Square, dry those teardrops. Don't look so sad. Some brand new baby will make you glad. Any time, any place, anywhere.
That sounded so good on a 78. We'll send it out to Frank Chingaro. That is Day, Dawn, and Dusk from April 56. That's on Jerry Blaine's Josie Records. Anytime is the name of the tune, and Frank will be returning to the Rhythm and Blues Serenade this coming Sunday, July 7th. Frank and Gordon Skagberg, you can tune in on WRHU 88.7 FM. That's live out of Hofstra University, beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 to 5. Frank makes his return. You can listen on the internet at WRHU.org. You'll hear more of the same that you hear on the Vinyl Treasure Show as we keep the music alive. They'll be celebrating 35 years on that show. Let us continue here. A few more records to go before we sign off on this 4th of July, getting ready for the fireworks here in Westchester County. But let's continue here as we stay in 1956 with a flip side from last week. This group out of Cincinnati, Ohio, recorded for Sid Nathan's Deluxe Records. I featured the B-side to their 19th release on Deluxe Records called It's All Over, but this is the intended A-side. This was another tune that was played by Alan Freed on WINS, but it didn't become a hit for some reason. So not everything he played was a hit, but he said he never played a record he didn't like, I can tell you that. But it features the great Otis Williams on lead. We go to May of 1956 for Otis Williams and his Charms on Deluxe Records. This is the intended A-side. It's called One Night Only.
One night only was I in paradise. One night only, but it was very nice. One night only, when we were heart to heart. Now I'm lonely because we're miles apart. I was in my greatest glory with the one I truly love. Now it seems just like a story that I've been dreaming. Oh, one night only lives in my memory, and I'll be lonely till my love returns to me. One night only was I in paradise. One night only, but it was very nice. One night only, when we were heart to heart. And now I'm lonely because we're miles apart. Well, I was in my greatest glory with the one I truly love. Now it seems just like a story that I've been dreaming. Oh, one night only lives in my memory, and I'll be lonely till my love returns to me. One night only, one night only, one night only, one night only.
May 1956 release there for Otis Williams and his Charms, their 19th release on Sid Nathan's Deluxe Records out of Cincinnati, Ohio. One Night Only is the name of the tune. 3 more 45s to go before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go back to Newport News, Virginia, as we go back to the Five Keys. They return this time, but on the Capitol record label as we move into 1957. This was the group's 11th release for Capitol Records. This song first recorded a year earlier by Vicki Young, also on the Capitol label. It's a song she wrote together with band leader Davy Cavanaugh. It features the great Rudy West on lead. This was a #1 record if you were listening to WCAE in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We go to February 1957. The Five Keys on Capitol. It's called Let There Be You.
Let there be light, and there was a light. Let there be earth, and there was earth. If I had my way, I would ask of him, please let there be you. Let there be rain, and there was rain. Let there be heavens up above. If I had my way, I would ask of him, please let there be you. You are the feeling of spring. You the beginning of dawn. You are the meaning of everything. How could anyone go wrong? Let there be stars, and there were stars. Let there be moon, and there was moon. If I had my way, I would ask of him, please let there be you. Please let there be you.
As Rudy West and the Five Keys from February 57. It's on the Capitol record label. That's their 11th release. Let There Be You is the name of the tune. I wish I had this next 78 in better condition, but beggars can't be choosy. It was in the box. I said, let me clean it. It does, the up-tempo records don't sound as bad as the ballads, but just wish it was in better condition. But it plays decent, I guess. This group discovered by the wife of band leader Al Brown. She heard them singing in the New York City subway, and she gave the lead singer of the group her husband's business card. And that lead singer was Johnny Mastrangelo. And this led to a recording session for Joyce Records and 2 releases. This is the B-side to the group's second release on the Joyce label. We go to October of 1957 for the Crests on Joyce. The song is called Wish She Was Mine. The Crests.
Well, she's the girl for me. She's pretty as can be. Yes, she is so fine. Wish she was mine. She is so sweet. She swept me off my feet. I know the reason why. Wish she was mine. Oh well, I looked her over once or twice or 3 times. I thought it over. She's a girl for me. How happy I would be. I know that she's my kind. Wish she was mine.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. There you go. That's the sound of the crest there. The crest from October 1957. Johnny Mastrangelo on lead there. That is the B-side, a song entitled Wish She Were Mine. What is the other side called? No One to Love. That was the A-side. Now, this was... there was a female member of the group. You can hear her on the flip side of this. Maybe I'll play it in 2 weeks there. That her name was Patricia Vandross. Of course, she was the older sister to soul singer Luther Vandross there. With the crest. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to these cool 78's out of my collection. And again, if you want to get in touch with Johnny G or you want to send your requests to me, if you have a favorite song you'd like to hear, as long as it's not a big hit, although I'll be playing a hit next as I'm testing the waters here, you can send it to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. If you really don't know, I enjoy to play the records here. It's really the only time I get to listen, especially to the 78's. I haven't played some of these and cleaned them in years. The same thing with the 60's show. There are records that have been sitting in the no humidity basement for about 25 years that I haven't yet cleaned. And I got thousands along the wall here from the 1950's. So when you guys and gals send me your request and it's not filed in the main collection, I got to go thumbing through all these records to look for it. And so if it's so if you give me requests that I don't have filed in the K box or the U box or the V box, there are not a lot of records to look through. But if I get them in like C or S or T, I mean, there's lots of records to look through. But anyway, it's fun because I got to pull those records out eventually, and then I got to clean them, and then I put them in the collection. But anyway, so thank you all for being here. Again, if you're new to the program, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and tell your friends about it. Nobody does this, at least not like this. They do. They go on and they'll play records and you'll see a picture, but you're looking at the real thing. And I tell YouTube, I says, can't you see I'm playing the original record? And then you're telling me I'm not playing that specific song. You can see it. Fix your artificial intelligence to read. You know, they have facial recognition. Do word recognition there so they know what the hell I'm playing. That would be better for them to do. Maybe they will eventually. But anyway, so I want everybody to enjoy their 4th of July. It looks like it might rain here, though. We're supposed to have a big bash of fireworks here. But we're going to close the show tonight, this afternoon, as we go back to Philadelphia here for the debut single for this group. Actually, they first recorded for K. Williams Jr. label. They had 4 releases on the Junior label. This was their first, and this record became a hit really overnight when Dick Clark played it on American Bandstand. So once he started that, then this record started to take off, and K. Williams what happened was, okay, Dick Clark said, I need a piece of this record here. We're going to do a 3-way deal with Al Silver of Ember Records. So when you see on your copy, this is the Ember copy, Ulysses Publishing, that's K. Williams. Wildcat Publishing, that's Dick Clark. And I don't know how I don't know Al Silver, I don't know how he gets money from the record, but he probably gets money too. But they worked out a deal with Junior Records to distribute it nationally, and it was a big #1 record. So this should be interesting here. This is a #1 record. It features Bill Horton on lead, but I played this on the countdown, the 1957 countdown. I don't think they shut me down, but our closer this afternoon is released originally from November 57, but this is a 58 press on the Ember label, The Silhouettes with Get a Job. That's going to do it, folks. Johnny G is out of here. Time for my lunch, and I'll see many of you on Saturday night right here on YouTube, also live on Oldies and More Radio. Thank you again for tuning into the program. I will see you next time right here. So take care, everybody. Enjoy your 4th of July. So long.
dip, 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 dip. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Dip, 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 get a job. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la.
You raised me money about this time to get me out of my bed and crying for a job. You wrap your breakfast every day, so you know the one is right my way. I never fail to say.
Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Dip, 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 get a job. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la.
Well, when I get the paper, I read it through and through, and my girl never fails to say, if there is any work
for me.
I then go back to the house, hear that woman's mouth
Preaching and crying, tell me that I'm lying about a job that I never could find. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Dip, 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 good. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la.
Well, when I get the paper, I read it through and through, and my girl never fails to say, if there is any work for me. I then go back to the house, I hear the woman's mouth
Preaching and crying, tell me that I'm lying about a job that I never could find. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter. Dip, 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 sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, butter.